Mga kamiranda mula sa Luzon,
I love you 3,000 Miranda!
at sa Visayas, at sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas.
I love you 3,000 Miranda!
At ngayon sa buong mundo.
Hello, Miranda!
I love you 3,000. Hello, Miranda.
Ooh, like sounds like a pro.
He taught me everything I know.
Oh my
I
God.
knew nothing about crypto until I followed him. So this is the master right now.
Asahan po ninyo na talagang nataguyod pa po natin ang pagiging educator in our community through your malasakit and our malasakit in the Global Miranda Miner Group. Asahan po ninyo we're going to cheer and educate yung ating mga kapwa Pilipino to learn more about cryptocurrency because that's our passion, that's our mission, that's our vocation. Marami pong salamat kay Miranda at sana po kayo po ay magpatuloy na mag-subscribe at mag-like para maituloy pa natin ang ating mission kay Miranda. Maraming salamat po at I love you 3,000. I love you 3,000 kay Miranda.
Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Kamiranda. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Kamiranda. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the one and only, the voice that introduced Pitikin Kita sa Ilong. Isang hampas na lang ng palakol. The power of yet. Please, let's give it up to our pambansang crypto coach, Coach Miranda Miner.
Hey guys, this is Coach Miranda Miner and magayong bangge sa Indugabos. I'm streaming live and alive here in the awesome province of Camarines Sur here in Naga City. Isang magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And I hope na kayo po ay nasa mabuting kalalagayan for today because napakaganda po ng ating pag-uusapan ngayon. And of course, there's no better man to join me on this show to talk about the legal ramifications. But si Attorney Rafael Padilla, ang ating ka-dynamic duo from a legal perspective. Ayan. We're gonna be getting questions from the community. Kung may mga tanong po kayo, please type that later for us to be able to read. And we can potentially give answers coming from our guest speaker for today. Yan, marahay na banggi sa Indugabos. Ayan. At medyo ang haba po ng araw namin dito. Kaya medyo mapasin nyo, medyo parang merong colds si Coach. Pero I'm good, Kamiranda. Natutuwa tayo because napaka-eager beaver at napaka-energetic ng ating mga Kamiranda partners here in Naga College Foundation. Kasama namin si Dean Lawrence kanina, mga faculty members. We're very happy na meron po tayong school officials nakasama dyan, no? Pati po si attorney. Alright, type number 1, kung narinig po kami ng mabuti at maayos, sa buti naman maayos ang ating internet dito sa ating pinag-i-stayan. Alright, okay. Our topic for today is, alam mo, nag-issue si Binance, si SEC, Philippines SEC, ng memorandum against Binance. No, very stern, very strong word used in the memorandum. Pag-usapan po natin 'yan on our episode for today. Ayan, let's do this. Let's all discuss all of the worthy issues ngayon sa ating market. This is Coach Miranda Minor Reacts. Tutok na! Alright, ayan. Kasama natin si Attorney Rafael Padilla. Parang gusto ko tong ating immersive sa Zoom. Attorney, kamusta ka na? Good evening. Balita ko, busy-busy ka daw
Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Miranda. Yeah, busy, daming action.
But busy is good. Busy is
Yep.
good.
Busy is business, so I guess that's good. Pero buti na lang, kahit busy tayo, kahit medyo late na, no, may time pa rin na makapag-catch up, no? After nung, ito si Coach mga Miranda, tagal na akong pinapromise na, mag-coffee daw kami, tapos he'll treat me coffee. Tapos, pagpunta ko nung nag-meet kami last week, kala ko coffee lang, tapos binili sa akin steak, binili ako.
Wow, di ba?
Kasi talaga si Coach, no? Oo, kaya next time ulit, Coach.
Oo naman. Basta ikaw. Teka lang, ayusin ko lang yung ating screen. Okay, sige attorney. So, the talk of the town today. Okay, di ba? So, si Philippines SEC, this is something na pinag-usapan naman natin. We saw this coming. No? They're always going to, well, most of the time, or talagang pwede mo nang i-assume they're gonna be following the blueprint of the United States. Yun na nga, no? Wala pang halos weeks, nag-issue na ang Philippines SEC. I know you have reviewed the document. Can you try to dumb it down or make it layman for us, Attorney Padilla? What does it mean? What does it want to do? And who are the people that can be affected? Please go ahead.
Oo. So, nag-issue si SEC ng advisory. Okay, ng advisory. Actually, may dalawang documents na lumabas kahapon sa website niya. And then ngayon, that basically repeats what was just what also was mentioned yesterday. But the point is, no, it's a public advisory warning the public from using the services of Binance because allegedly, according to the SEC, Binance is not offered to sell or securities in the Philippines. And in the process of clarifying this position, the SEC has highlighted some of the products that are available in Binance that would constitute investment product. Some of these are spot trading using leverage. Kaya kailangan nating klaruhin yan baka mamaya. No? Sabi yung spot trading, yung leverage trading basically. Then futures contracts, option contracts, cryptocurrency savings accounts, staking services, and yung initial coin offering na platform that is native also in the Binance platform. No? According to the SEC, this is an investment product, and because they are not registered here in the Philippines, then therefore they cannot be legally offered to the Philippine market. The SEC also clarified, basically repeated what they mentioned already in their public advisory against Okta FX last week, that it doesn't matter whether those products are registered in other jurisdictions. If they are not registered here in the Philippines, they cannot be offered. These investment products cannot be offered here in the Philippines. SEC also highlighted that Binance is not registered as a corporation in the Philippines or any of its subsidiary. And today naman, doon sa kanyang related advisory, it's basically a press release, by the way. It's not the actual advisory. In the press release, no, they hinted that the SEC will request the assistance of the NTC, National Telecommunications Commission, and the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, to request these agencies to block access to Binance in the Philippines. No? And in view of this possible eventuality, basically, this is something that will be implemented potentially within 3 months. And so therefore, this is intended to give Filipino traders to close their positions and withdraw their funds from Binance. So,
Sino nagsabi, attorney, nung 3 months? Is that SEC Philippines or is that Binance?
Basically sinasabi nila na they're in the process of coordinating with the NTC and DICT for the possible blocking. This is something that would be implemented within a 3 months timeline, and hopefully that is enough time. This basically gives traders the heads up, no, and enough time to withdraw their funds from Binance. No.
Okay.
And then lastly, I want to point out lang na SEC also noted in their press release today that they are also in talks with Google and Meta to request these platforms to prohibit the online advertisements of Binance. No?
Okay.
And so far as the Philippine market is concerned. So that's basically the gist of it. And I think we'll have to discuss the nuances there. No?
Okay. So let's talk about first the part where it says they're not registered, right? They're not registered. It's only Binance. So 2 questions there. Number 1, do you think it will only stop with Binance? Number 2, Binance applied last year for a VASP license and they were disapproved. They did not naturally apply for SEC. Siguro iniisip nila the same argument with US SEC. They're not probably selling securities. No? So una, is it gonna be stopping with Binance? Do you think more memos will come out? Number 2, what does it make when someone applied for license but they were open secret not approved and they still got this memo? What are your thoughts about that? Go ahead.
So if we'll take the word of Commissioner Kelvin Lee of the SEC, last week he was interviewed by Big Pinas, and he hinted that they will be issuing series of public advisory against some crypto exchanges. So it looks like this is the initial salvo, and it looks like there will be more advisories that will be issued by the SEC. Regarding your second question, the license application of the SEC license application of of Binance last year.
Sayang, ganda ng topic natin eh. Wait lang.
Okay lang. I checked then.
Sorry. Okay, we're back on the game. Okay na tayo. Bumahing pa ako live. Pasensya na po, Miranda. No, talagang may nakuha akong virus dito sa Naga. Pero I promise uwi po tayo ng okay. Alright, attorney, ulitin ko kasi parang hindi narinig ng mga Miranda eh. So, is it gonna be the last thing? Do you see some more memos coming? And then, what do you make of their application? Last year, it was denied. And now, SEC issued a memo. Go ahead, please, sir.
Yeah. If the community will allow us, we'll just have to repeat. Hindi natin ma-assess right now kung saan tayo naputol. No? But as I was saying earlier, last week, Commissioner Kelvin Lee of the Securities and Exchange Commission was interviewed by Bitpinas. And during that interview, he hinted that there will be a series of public advisory. So it looks like this is just the initial salvo. There will be other advisories that will be issued against crypto intermediaries and exchanges in the coming weeks, months. No, don't know for sure. No. Second question. No. Binance applied. No, this is Binance will not. I don't think this was officially confirmed by Binance, but the industry rumor is that they applied for a virtual asset service provider license last year with a BSP, and that this was disapproved. No? And the next strategy is to acquire an existing virtual asset service provider. Okay? But that requires BSP approval, no, the acquisition under the change of control rules of the BSP. And that was not approved as well. No? I'll be happy if somebody from Binance, a representative, can confirm this or deny this, but that's the industry rumor that has been circulating. Now, even assuming that this application for virtual asset service provider license was approved by the BSP, this is inconsequential insofar as the SEC issues are concerned. Kasi yung issues ng SEC relates to issuance, distribution of unregistered securities. And we have named, I believe we have named them earlier, futures trading, for instance, just to give one example. Staking as a product, another example. And the fact that you have a VASP license issued by the BSP doesn't really matter because this is actually a matter that is the concern of the SEC, not by a banking regulator, a currency regulator, or a payments regulator in the form of a BSP.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're in a matter of saying, it does not mean that they applied, it justifies them continues to exist. All right. So kanina offline, we're talking about couple of scenarios that SEC can potentially do, the Philippines SEC. Kasi, kumbaga, if you're going to put a description or category on what they're doing, this is plainly a cautionary memorandum for the public. This is to warn. Earlier, you were saying they also have an opportunity to issue a cease and desist order. Talk to us about that, and is that something that is option in the list of things that SEC can do? Number two, you said earlier as well that they're coordinating with NTC and DICT to block. But is that as easy as that? Can a regulatory body just quickly recommend or do, or does that mean that an act of Congress needs to happen? So those two questions, attorney, please go ahead.
Okay, so the first question is what are the possible next steps? And since you mentioned already the I think it's a magic word, CDO, cease and desist order. Yung sinasabi ni Commissioner Lee na there will be series of public advisories. I think what's important also is that when they issue public advisory, masundan ng cease and desist order. Kasi yung mga public advisory, that has really no binding effect. So far as that related concerned subject is concerned. So far as the subject of the advisory is concerned, in this case, Binance, no? The public advisory is intended for the public, for the public to basically, hey, we warn you, this is unregistered, be careful. And there might be this potentially violates securities law. So you're not investor protection might be compromised here. That's basically that. Incidentally, it gives the subject some heads up of as to what's gonna happen next. Pero it's actually the cease and desist order that has the legal force. If they don't comply with that order, that is that could expose the relevant persons to potential not just not just administrative liability but even criminal liability. So the possible next step, and we have precedents no for this, where we have seen the SEC in an important crypto related issue, no, when they released a public advisory, it was quickly followed by a cease and desist order. This happened in 2018 when in early January 2018, the SEC issued a public advisory against initial coin offerings. And then just some couple of weeks later, no, they issued a cease and desist order against Crops ICO, no, initial coin offering. And then in middle of 2020, they initially issued a public advisory against Forsage, the decentralized smart contract, basically matrix, Ponzi scheme. SEC, US SEC called it a Ponzi scheme. And then just later, a month later, perhaps less than a month, no, the Philippine SEC issued a cease and desist order. In an important issue like this, Binance, no, they've issued already a public advisory. Might be reasonable to expect, but we'll see whether the SEC will issue a cease and desist order.
So
now,
yeah. No, go ahead. Finish your thoughts, attorney.
Okay. So those are the next succeeding steps. After the cease and desist order, the violation of the Securities Regulation Code, which the SEC has hinted in its public advisory, na mukhang may violation ng Securities Regulation Code. In fairness to Binance, we have to hear their side. Okay? But insofar as the allegations of the SEC is concerned in this public advisory, they allege that there are potential violations of the Securities Regulation Code. Now, these violations exposes Binance and the relevant persons controlling Binance not just to civil or administrative liability but also criminal liability. But as we have already learned, some cases in the United States, case building takes some time, especially criminal cases. So it might be possible na there could be a cease and desist order next month or early next month before the year ends. But actual prosecution, just in case SEC decides to prosecute, might still take a while. Note also that they'll have to coordinate with another branch of the government, the Department of Justice, to pursue this enforcement action against Binance. Should they decide to file a criminal case for violation of the Securities Regulation Code. Now also as part of their enforcement action, one potential solution or approach of the SEC that has been floated in the press release today is to the potential blocking of Binance.
The IP
the website.
addresses. I mean, is that something that they can do that easily that they can do? Or talk to us on the nitty-gritty of that, attorney.
Kasi, first of all, from my observation as an attorney, and I may have limited experience, but from my observation, this is probably the first time that the SEC will consider applying for blocking of a website in relation to a securities related matter, especially because the intermediary, the application or the website is unregistered in the Philippines. We may have to fact check that. But in crypto, ikaw din naman, coach. You've been in the industry for quite some time. And it seems like this is the first time.
I've been seeing the previous memoranda issued, and there's nothing on that effect.
So I think it's safe to say that at least in recent history, this is the first time that they're going to do this. The question is whether they can do this. They said they will coordinate with the NTC and DICT to request for the blocking. Okay. The question really is whether the NTC, National Telecommunications Commission, or the DICT can legally do it. No? These administrative agencies cannot just do whatever they want, even if it is for a good cause, or even if it's for a policy.
So what's needed? Is there a layer needed? Okay, exactly.
Under their respective statutes that created this agency. In the case of DICT, it's the DICT Act. We'll have to read the law. whether that authority is granted. Let me just remind you that sometime in this middle of 2022, there was actually an issue. Kasi naging issue ito because I'm trying to remember the agency. I think it was the National Security Advisor, no, Hermogenes Esperon Jr. at that time requested the NTC to block some websites. Marami-raming websites yon that are allegedly affiliated with communist rebels, yung mga na-red tag. Nire-request nila na i-block yon. When that happened, no, some legal luminaries like Associate Justice Antonio Carpio, a former justice of the Supreme Court. Not only that, even the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, no, the Association of Lawyers here in the Philippines, no, issued statements to the effect that the NTC has no authority to block websites on the allegation that these websites, no, may be related to communist activities. So the lesson here, no, and there's controversy, but they're basically saying it's just because these websites are engaged in illegal activities does not mean that they can just block those websites. Not only that, in 2014, no, the Supreme Court, Philippine Supreme Court, no, in the case of Dicini versus Secretary of Justice, no, declared as unconstitutional Section 19 of the Cybercrime Prevention Act. That provision, which authorized the blocking or restricting of website, no, by the Department of Justice, no, basically the provision allows or authorizes the DOJ, no, to block the websites, no, of those who may have committed violation of the Cybercrime Prevention Act. No, this provision, Section 19, was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court on the ground that this violates freedom of speech and the right against unreasonable searches and seizures. Thus, yung sinasabi natin kanina, bago tong ginagawa ng SEC, requesting the NTC to block websites, no, on the ground that these websites are violating the Securities Regulation Code. We might have to see on whether this is, and I'm not making judgment right now, I'm just posing a legal issue, no, on whether the NTC can really do this. Meron tayo by way exception. Pagdating sa child pornography, meron tayong mga batas under the Anti-Child Pornography Act as amended, meron tayong mga later laws, no, that authorizes the NTC to block websites that are related to child pornography.
So motu proprio, they need to stop it because there's a law. There's a law, correct? Okay.
There's a law. And seems to be the substance of that law seems reasonable.
Yeah.
It is an exercise of police power that we should prohibit restrict child pornography. So we authorize the NTC to do that, and that the law, no, authorizes the NTC to block those websites. But in a matter like this, violation of the Securities Regulation Code, no, I am not sure at this point, or at least I pose the issue on whether the NTC can do this.
Okay.
So I'm a bit excited to see the outcome of this initiative of the SEC.
So you're saying someone might raise a question on this, particularly on that aspect about coordination with NTC.
So first of all, SEC will approach NTC.
Okay.
Mag-uusap sila. They will deliberate explore on this. It might be possible that the legal issue might be floated. It might be possible na si NTC mismo sabihin, wala kaming authority dyan.
Okay.
Hindi ba mangyayari, hindi ba pagbibigyan yung request ni SEC. Second, kahit pa sabihin ni SEC, sige, i-block natin yung mga websites. Let's order mga internet service providers to block the websites. It's possible that the internet service providers will also entertain the legal issue on whether the NTC can order
they need to have an order, legal order coming from an agency in the government.
To
Correct.
be safe for them, no, they will have to secure, consult nila yung legal team nila. But the most likely scenario then, lalo na kung hindi sigurado doon sa legal issue, no, magfa-file sila ng case in court, no? To request the court to rule, basically like an interpleader is one of the potential legal remedies. And let the court say on whether they can block these websites.
Okay.
Second, even assuming, hypothetically, yung mga internet service providers, umuon na lang sa sinabi ni NTC. Si Binance din mismo or any other affected crypto exchange can assert the legal issue. And then this will eventually go to court. These exchanges might say, without a court order, NTC, you cannot block us. And then the matter would have to be resolved by the court.
But on that question, attorney, so to your point, there could be some court, kumbaga, they need to step in here. But does it need a court order for SEC to do a cease and desist order?
No. The cease and desist order under the Securities Regulation Code is an administrative remedy that the SEC can issue to address an urgent matter such as the continuous violation of the Securities Regulation Code. Hindi kailangan ni SEC ng court order dyan.
Okay. So when they do you see it coming though? Do you see it coming? Based on this initial pronouncement, to your point, medyo malabnaw pa to. This is just a public caution. Do you see CDO coming here in the picture?
Mahirap ma-predict kasi marami ring inisyong public advisory si SEC na hindi naman nasundan ng cease and desist order. But if my hunch is correct, because of how important, big deal this matter is, it's high profile.
Especially in the US, it happened there, right?
Yeah, just like what happened in initial coin offering back in January 2018, just like what happened in Forsage, in middle of 2020, this one will be followed by a cease and desist order. I could be wrong.
So simplify that for our audience today.
Dapat lang, ha?
Attorney, sorry to interrupt you. Simplify what the CDO mean. What will happen so when SEC issued a CDO today? So Binance, so anyone who touches Binance, so Binance need to take it, by paper and say, you know what, we'll block all Philippine IP addresses. That can happen, isn't it? That's gonna be their next step. Should be if someone issued you, because they have no office in the Philippines. What do they mean? How will they process a CDO order? Access issue yan malamang, correct?
So there are some practical challenges there in terms of enforcement. But what we have seen in the case of Crops ICO 2018, Forsage ICO, for such ICO, wala namang ICO. But for such platform is, ang pwedeng targetin, kung walang malocate na office dito sa Philippines, walang malocate na company dito sa Philippines, sabi na nga doon sa advisory, wala namang finance company sa Philippines. Ang pwedeng i-target ni SEC ay yung mga promoters and representatives of Binance that are in the Philippines. In other words, the real people behind the company can be the subject of an enforcement action.
Gotcha. So,
ganun kasi nangyari sa Forsage Yung mga nagpo-promote dito sa Philippines, lalo na kasi yung style nila doon is pyramid matrix. Sila yung sinama doon sa cease and desist order. At C in CDO means cease, D means desist. Basically, they're telling you stop what you're doing under pain of penalty. Don't listen to us, then you're gonna see what's coming next. That's basically the message.
To your point, when they issue a CDO, so right now, it's ako in my own words, it's an order, telling you, teka lang it's not authorized by us, no? And there's also a clause that says promoters should not promote. Now they issue a CDO. If you still don't listen to us, then we can take actions. Isn't that? Kasi wala silang office in the Philippines.
Yeah. To be more accurate, it's not if. Okay. It's not if. So, which means, kahit sundin mo pa yung CDO, that doesn't stop the SEC from rolling out an enforcement action when there has already been a violation of the Securities Regulation Code.
Got it.
Just speaking from experience, then again, we're using as reference experience yung Crops ICO happened in 2018. for such 2020, middle of 2020. I do understand that case building takes a lot of time, but we have not heard, and as you can see naman, the SEC, nothing stops SEC from issuing press releases. They've issued a press release today after issuing an advisory yesterday. So if the SEC wants to warn the public or advise the
They will
public,
always warn the public.
they could have informed us na may fake case na criminal case, civil case na final against perhaps ICO, people behind it.
Kaso wala.
No? We haven't heard anything since January 2018, since the CDO was issued in 2018. No? So we don't, and same with Forsage, na-identify naman ng SEC yung mga promoters. Hindi na natin babanggitin kung sino sila. Pero wala naman, 2023 already, wala naman tayong naririnig na may kinasuhan si SEC. But in terms of possibility, no, those mga people who have promoted or who have basically acted as representatives of Binance in the Philippines could be potential targets of enforcement action. If they cooperate, perhaps the SEC might decide not to might exercise some leniency.
Okay. So on that note, we're talking about many next steps, no? Talagang ang dami pa. So you see that this memos will not potentially end lang from Binance. Other exchanges can follow. Isn't that correct? So you have other exchanges like Bybit, BingX, OKX, etc.
It's okay na siguro kahit hindi natin sila i-label. Pero offshore exchanges in general, no? Offshore exchanges in the, ito lang ang ano ko, ang hope ko, no? In fairness sa mga offshore exchanges, sana tingnan din ni SEC yung mga local crypto exchanges na kasi I will not name names, pero some of them are offering some of the products that are being offered also by Binance,
which is also security.
And the fact that may VASP license sila does not exempt them from registering those security with the SEC.
So one might argue that these companies with VASP isn't necessarily a sure deal or a sure ball safe, agency where you could put your money, isn't it?
Personally, kasi I'm skeptic doon sa notion na just because you have a VASP license, you're safe.
That makes perfect sense.
And I speak from personal experience. No. Kaya sa akin, and then this one, remember yung discussion natin last week, and I've said na some exchanges, maybe they don't have a license here in the Philippines, but from a user standpoint, nakikita mo yung quality ng service nila. Customer support, hindi lang yung iba't ibang products, kasi yung mga products, ang galing nga, may ganun silang product, pero hindi naman registered dito sa Philippines, hindi naman legal pala dito sa Philippines. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in terms of like user interface, simplicity, customer support, education, mga ganon. Baka wala kang license dito sa Philippines, pero mas maganda naman yung service, hindi naman sila, in terms of security, hindi naman nahahack, o di kaya kahit nahack, nagagawa nila ng paraan, binabalik yung funds sa user. Sa akin, mas comfortable ako sa ganun kahit wala silang license.
So yung sinasabi ninyo, what you're saying is, it does not, kumbaga, wag lang silang tumingin, no? They don't look lang on these offshore agencies. We have work to do here in the Philippines, isn't it?
With SEC? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
2 points. One, merong mga exchanges dito sa Philippines nag-offer na ng similar products na binanggit doon sa advisory. 2, merong mga exchanges, recently yung mga local exchanges, aggressive sa listing ng mga tokens. With that aggressive approach, how sure are they that those tokens are non-security? Kasi isa lang ang sumabit na may security doon. No? Effectively, you're distributing the security here in the Philippines without SEC registration or without SEC license. And again, having a VASP license will be inconsequential, no? So far as securities related matters are concerned. Kasi hindi naman si BSP ang regulator ng ng securities ng securities transactions It's SEC. Actually, one positive note that I would derive from this enforcement action of the SEC is this highlights the role of the SEC. Kasi meron mga pagdating sa mga crypto-related na transactions. Kasi we know for a fact that cryptocurrencies have different use cases. But one of the dominant use cases for crypto is when it comes to trading. And some of them might partake the nature of a security, indeed. So that's something that SEC should really look into. Pero somehow in the Philippines, mayroong misconception that if something is crypto-regulated, if there's a crypto business or crypto intermediary or crypto activity, that's something that BSP regulates. No? Hindi natin pinapansin si SEC.
Okay.
Even though quite obviously, the application or the use case is investment related. Sino ba ang regulator ng mga investment products dito sa Philippines ng securities?
Right.
So this advisory tells us the role of the SEC when it comes to regulation of these products and transactions.
By the way, ang dami po nating viewers. Parang all-time high yung viewers natin, attorney. Thank you for, I think this is a very timely topic, Miranda talaga, no? So, pili lang ako ng mga questions from the audience natin in YouTube. Yan, tama si Zekram. Sabi niya, there are no exchanges in the Philippines that are registered except for those licensed with VASP licenses, PDAX, Coins, PH. You know, G Crypto, which is obviously behind that, is PDAX. Sabi ni Joel Balidbid, Coach, yung Forex po, wala namang license, pero regulated ng SEC ba? Pwede bang ganun din ang gawin ni Binance? I don't think so, attorney. Would you think so?
Yung sa Forex, ganito yan. Kung money changer, foreign exchange dealer, considered yan na money service business, si BSP ang nagre-regulate. Okay? Pero yung money changer yan at saka foreign exchange dealer. Pero kung ang ginagawa mo, so mga over the counter. Pero if you're operating a forex trading platform, and in that at ganito naman usually sa mga forex trading platform, di ba nag-o-offer sila ng leverage, margin trading. Meron halo-halo na, may contracts for difference pa. You will really trigger, no? Kasi may issue din. Kung yung how about ang spot na foreign exchange? Si SEC ba ang nagre-regulate nun? Spot naman 'yon. Okay.
So parang somehow dapat BSP. Pero may trading Go ahead.
I think merong legal issue doon, pero ito ang klaro sa akin. Kung forex trading platform ka at merong leverage doon, basically nag-offer ka na rin ng derivatives. Nag-offer ka ng CFD, binary options, derivatives, mga derivatives, si SEC nagre-regulate niyan. So you're basically triggering the regulatory oversight of the SEC. And therefore, without license for those products, these platforms are operating illegally. Not to mention the fact that in various advisories of the SEC, they have said already that they don't issue license for contracts for difference and binary options.
CFDs,
At pagdating sa other derivatives product, and I think that we have mentioned this before, suspended kasi ang commodities futures trading here in the Philippines kasi under the Securities Regulation Code, kailangang mag-issue ng SEC ng implementing rules on commodities futures trading para maging legal ang commodities futures trading. Hindi pa nag-i-issue ng ganyang regulation si SEC, which means dormant ang commodities futures trading here in the Philippines. Kung may nakikita kayong commodities futures trading here in the Philippines, those are like institutional. Sa retail,
walang retail.
basically bawal siya.
Okay. Okay. Kamiranda, please ask questions in the chat room if you have any, no? Sabi ni Renz, if ever coach magtagumpay ang SEC kay Binance, malaki bang possibility na mamanganib yung ibang exchanges gaya ng sinabi ko kanina mga other exchanges na i-block din ng SEC? I think naturally, ako in my opinion, naturally the answer is wala naman silang sisinuin para pareha sila sa paningin ng SEC, no? These are all offshore exchanges. Wouldn't you agree, Attorney Padilla?
Yes. Yes, I agree. They will use Binance as an example, assuming they can do what they want to do right now, pati yung blocking. And they'll use Binance as an example, but they will not stop with Binance. Commissioner Lee already hinted about the possible next steps, no? Ang sabi ko nga lang kanina, pati sana yung mga local exchanges natin medyo ma-review din, or at least yung mga local exchanges din take guidance na from this enforcement action. Yung mga products natin na medyo actually in my opinion they're not gray pero yung katulad ng mga products na binabanggit ni SEC dito sa advisory against finance, pull out na nila. Stop na nila yon. Tapos i-review nila yung mga tokens nila. Considering how aggressive they are in listing tokens, I think they need to double check those tokens. No?
Gotcha. Oo, tama. All right. Okay. Okay. So, if and when na magkaroon ng blocking of IP addresses, no? Technically, pag sinabing cease and desist order, is that somehow same by the definition of banning, or you're doing banning of a particular exchange? Is that almost the same operative word, Attorney?
For practical purpose, yes.
Okay.
But let me just make this clarification.
Oo.
The cease and desist order will initially be issued on ex parte basis. What that means is the commission will deliberate, no, the 5-person commission will deliberate, talk about it. They will not invite or hear from the subject, no, in this case Binance. No. They will just deliberate, no, and that is understandable because of the urgency of this matter. And then they will decide whether to issue the CDO, and then they issue the CDO. After that, no, Binance, the subject, or in our example, Binance, no, will have a remedy of filing a motion to lift the CDO. No? And it is only at that time where i-review ngayon papakinggan ni SEC, ano ba yung concerns nyo, ano ba yung arguments nyo. No? Saying na in our SEC, sa tingin niya, based on its study and research, security to, kaya kami nag-issue ng CDO. But what can you say about this? And then, this is the time wherein Binance will be given an opportunity to explain their side. If the circumstances will warrant, it's possible for the SEC to lift the CDO. But if mabigat pa rin talaga yung ebidensya, it will maintain the CDO subject to further enforcement action whether Binance complies with the CDO or not.
Pag-usapan natin yung timelines, Attorney. So alam wala kasi itong wala siyang preceding na unang pangyayari, no? At least on the tone of the memo, etc. But pag-usapan natin on a normal case-to-case basis, not necessarily crypto. How long? Timeline-wise, SEC perspective, from the date of the issuance of this memo. And in fact, to your point, 2022, they also replied to InfraWatch. Sabi nila, Binance is not authorized. Well, this time, medyo may konting change of tone. Parang talagang meron pang pagsabi kay DICT and blah, blah, blah. So, in your basa with this particular memo, timelines for a potential CDO, 6 months, 1 year, kung kailan ba naman halving pa.
Before the year ends. Before December.
Tingin mo, ganun kabilis?
Bago sila mag-Christmas party, pwede.
Pwede, no? CDO na.
And
Okay.
then, one precedent I have in mind is yung initial coin offering nila na advisory, which was followed in less than 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
ng
okay.
suit against Kalata Corporation.
Okay,
Oo.
okay. So on that note, you also believe that they will not just single out Binance. In this case, other
They won't.
logos can follow.
They
Yeah?
won't, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So if I'm gonna be, let's talk about the retailers today. Yung mga traders, lahat, 99% of people watching me today are traders. How should they accept this particular memo, prescriptive memo? You know, may guidance na, caution to the public. If I'm gonna be a trader, how should I process this, attorney?
Siguro manage your risk na. Although there are legal issues on whether NTC can actually ban it, hindi natin ma-predict eh. O kung pwede talagang, sa ngayon na pwede talagang, and whatever the outcome is, manage your risk. As a lawyer, I will need to echo SEC's advisory. I have to do that. No? Because that needs to be presumed as regular, and I would need to advise my clients, no, to consider the advice of the SEC.
It is what it is,
Okay.
di ba? That's the same thing I said to the community.
Oo.
We need
Pero,
to follow the law.
At the end of the day, nasa sayo yan. At saka ito pa pala isang kailangan nating klaruhin. Just because naban si Binance or sinabi unregistered na exchange yan, if you decide to trade there, you're not necessarily committing a crime, ha? Oo. Kasi minsan may mga ganong misconception eh. Nagte-trade ka sa unlicensed na exchange, baka you're committing a crime. Oo. I know many traders in the community are being harassed and molested by banks when we transact. They ask questions as if we've committed a crime. They ask very, very invasive questions, cumbersome requirements. No? At the end of the day, you will feel some guilt na parang may ginawa kang mali. That's how they treat you. But let me assure you that you're not committing any crime. It is not unlawful to trade in an exchange, whether that exchange is licensed or not. No? So what I'm trying to say here is, SEC is giving us an advice, but at the end of the day, it's up to you. Whether you withdraw that or keep your funds there, but seems to be the safe approach is at least to manage that risk. Maybe don't put your eggs in one basket, especially the Binance basket.
A lot of questions today that comes out from the community. Can we use VPN? But I think your answer already answers it. It does not mean that if you're using this, it's a crime, no, as a user, diba? Okay. So, sabi dito ni Cathy Wood, Lodi Coin pinopromote ni Pacquiao, okay lang sa SEC. Hindi ko alam yun, ha. May ganun pala.
I don't think it's okay with the SEC, but let's give the SEC the benefit of the doubt na perhaps this is something that being studied.
Yeah, they probably have just seen it, no? I don't know. But yeah. All right. Wag nyong, teka lang. So let me just read the questions. Pwede bang tanggapin na lang nila si Binance? I-tax na lang nila or i-regulate? I think it's another way to put a spin, no? Kumbaga, i-allow nila kung talagang willing si Binance. Binance pa din yan kung they're going to plan to register in the Philippines and be subjected to SEC rules. Pero sa tingin ko, it will take a needle on a haystack or an eye of a needle, so to speak. Dadaanan nila yan kung talagang gusto nila yung Philippines market. But to your point, at least on a market, on a retailer standpoint, this advisory, I think I re-echo what Attorney Padilla said, no, and I also posted it in her Facebook page. It is what it is, guys, no? I mean, kahit anong gawin natin, mahirap naman mag-operate ng pera mo sa hindi kontrolado at hot yung issue. 'Di ba? Parang kumbaga, buy a peace of mind. Buy a peace of mind, no? And it will be even better to remove that issues in your head, no, of where your money will be born or ilalagay if there's any potential risk. Sabi nga ni attorney, diversify your risks, no, or start to diversify. Oo. Siguro ang dapat pa natin pag-usapan dito is So from a retailer perspective, no, you have this pronouncements from SEC. Um, do you think that they're also looking, kasi if you remember, labas lang tayo konti ng Pilipinas sa US, merong press conference at wala ang SEC doon, ang US SEC, 'di ba? For some reason, talaga maiisip mo, everyone was there except Gensler, no? Do you think they're also waiting for what the actions of Gary will be and potentially mimic or mirror that in the Philippines? Is that a potential scenario? Or I think we're operating independently and based on the wisdom of SEC, we gotta say, okay, wag muna, CDO kayo, at ito na yan, wala na kayong magagawa. Or titingin mo, pagbago yung ihip ng hangin sa US, magbago din dito.
Yung wait and see approach is indeed a possibility.
A possibility, you're saying.
Huh?
It's a possibility, attorney. That's what you're saying.
It is a possibility. And I can also speak from experience firsthand, receiving a document from the SEC in relation to a complaint we filed on behalf of a client, where the response of the SEC is basically, this is an issue that is still something to the effect that the jury is still out in relation to this issue, and we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen in the United States. No, so that's a possibility. But at the same time, SEC is also saying, which is also true. They're independent, separate and independent from the US SEC, and they will not just follow what the SEC is doing. No, so they'll have to take their own
course of action.
If we see some violation of the Securities Regulation Code, then we will initiate. Just like what happened in the case of Forsage. As I've said earlier, they issued a CDO in 2020, middle of 2020, parang September yata eh. And then 2022, si US SEC nag-issue nag-file ng case against Forsage. So you see here a scenario na actually si US SEC pa sumifil SEC. Pinasalamatan pa si Philippine SEC. Sabi, we acknowledge doon sa press release, we would like to acknowledge the Philippine SEC for their contribution in the investigation of the Forsage case. No? So that demonstrates to you na Philippine SEC can take its own lead. No?
Nice.
And may also take a wait and see approach. It's just
Nice.
that we don't have a visual of the what the commission is doing or deliberating, and the only insight that we have is what's reflected in the advisories or their actions, the documents that they issue, like the cease and desist order that they can potentially issue against Okta FX, if ever, or Binance. No?
Well, on that note, naku, grabe, napakalaman, napaka-free legal discussion ka, Miranda, at ako ay lagi natutuwa na meron po tayong kaibigan at talagang at your service anytime, kahit alas 10 na ng gabi, no? maraming salamat, attorney. Siguro, again, as I always say, hindi last few words, but I want you to give your parting words for tonight, because I'm sure we're gonna be talking again in the next couple of episodes. The floor is yours, attorney. Please give us your words on this topic.
Let's continue to monitor regulatory developments, and wag lang din tayong mag-rely sa mga exchanges or government to protect us. No? Kailangan tayo, we need to be self-reliant. We need to rely on ourselves, and we need to rely also help with the assistance of the community. Tricky lang yung community kasi may mga communities din naman nagmi-misrepresent. But we have to really know kung anong community yung mga nakakatulong sa atin. Meron dyan yung ibang community, so-called community, basically, pinipitch lang nila. Meron pa nga, hindi ko na lang sasabihin ko sino. Ang pinipitch, si Okta FX. Tapos,
do not say, do not say. Okay, wala na tayong sasabihin.
Hindi natin kailangang sabihin, alam naman nila yon eh. Alam naman nila. So, let's be discerning. It's nice if exchanges will help us, will protect us. It's nice if the government can protect us. At the end of the day, it's up to us, no, as
Course, good point.
individuals, no. We manage our risks, and kung talagang maban man yung maraming mga offshore exchanges here in the Philippines and hindi na natin ma-access kahit via VPN, let's take this as an opportunity to learn an important lesson about crypto, and that is the ethos of this centralization. We have decentralized alternatives, non-custodial alternatives that can still allow us to trade. They may be a little clunky at this time, but the technology is quickly, rapidly developing to become more simple to use. And hopefully, i-explore natin itong mga decentralized alternatives na to.
Alright, on that note, sabay po kung magpapaalam din ni Attorney. I would like to say thank you kay Miranda. I would like to echo what Attorney Padilla has mentioned. No, it's on us, no. Nasa sa inyo po. It's your money, no. It's your decision, no. But on the same lens, on the same breath, pinost ko din po ito kay Miranda. The Global Miranda Minor Group and Coach Miranda Minor joins the advisory of SEC in ensuring that we follow the law. And obviously, promotions or anything to this effect that we might have done in the past, obviously in compliance with what SEC is doing, we need to obviously follow the law. Therefore, they will need to stop. So on that particular case, Miranda, ako in my own standpoint, nakakalungkot, no? Kumaga as a trader, pero ganun talaga eh. Ganun talaga. Nakakalungkot kung kailan ang Bitcoin nasa 38,000 na, attorney talagang ang paparating na spot ETF approval talaga ay talagang 6 weeks na lamang, no. Pero kumbaga no one is stopping us naman, no, to repurpose some of our funds, ikalat, i-diversify. Marami pa naman diyan, and this is not in promotion of companies like CoinsPH or Gcrypto, no. But I think what I'm trying to say here is we need to understand that whatever we're doing as risks, and we need to discern it really well. Itong program na ito is a guidance for you, no. This is a guidance. It's still up to you on what you will do, Miranda, but yung masaya din tayo that in our program we have guests who are experts in what they do, in this case Attorney Padilla. Attorney, maraming salamat, maayong bangge.
Thank you, and have fun. Enjoy there.
Maraming salamat, Attorney. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, okay. So, ang daming nanonood. Grabe, 800 plus viewers. Maraming salamat at I hope kayo po ay nagkaroon ng guidance in our short episode for today. Well, an hour almost and a half. I would like to greet some of you, no, na nandito sa ating live. Ang dami po natin nakikitang chat room today. Maraming salamat sa mga usual nating mga Kamiranda, Crypto Delo, Momoshiro. Maraming salamat. Rix22, Invest Crypto, Zekram, Will P, Tamaki, Gone Potato, and to all of you, Kamiranda. I hope we're able to give you guidance. And if you believe you've learned something in our video for today, please don't forget to click on like and subscribe to our channel. Maraming salamat po, and I love you. 3,000 ang daming viewers, so congratulations, at masaya ako that we're able to give again awesome information to all of our Filipino communities. Maraming salamat po.
Ikaw ay nakikinig kay Coach Miranda Minor sa Daily Crypto Live.
Before ako magpaalam, huwag niyo pong kalimutan, laging always plan your trades para...
Coach, papitik nga ako sa ilong.
Huwag kayong mapitik sa ilong, ha. Make sure kayo po ay always following. Ang gaganda po ng performance ng mga coins ngayon, no? But we just don't have enough time to do our charting for tonight. But tomorrow, no, charting po ng mga mentors. Let's ask them to help ensure that they chart the coins for us. Of course, maraming salamat kay Miranda, and shalom. Uy, Miranda, if you have learned something in this video, please don't forget to leave a comment, click like, and subscribe para ikaw, isa ka na rin sa mga Kamiranda na updated for everything about crypto, technical analysis, fundamentals, exclusive interviews, mga reactions, opinions, and kung ano-ano pa, everything about crypto all in one channel. Maraming salamat po, at don't forget to click on the subscribe button